this to leak because it's on a slight slant. There's a little tap here, and you can harvest what leaches out into these bottles here. And the batteries are out now. They're supposed to be rechargeable batteries. But then you aerate it, which activates all the beneficial bacteria and microbes overnight. And that makes this fertilizer tea, this worm compost fertilizer tea, which is extremely, the most beneficial thing you can put on plants. It's supposed to prevent all kinds of diseases, very, very fertile. So it's a complete system. You start with the paper, kitchen scraps come out, ends up with the home-brewed compost tea for your plants. Yes?
Is fertilizer tea, or do you have to use it right away?
I think as long as it's been aerated, it's good. So you would, if it sits for a while, it needs to be reactivated by being re-aerated.
And flow with the worms, special worms?
Yes. I put a few night crawlers in there, but really you're supposed to use red wigglers, which you can buy locally. Oh, I forgot the name of that farm. What's the name of that farm where we bought the compost? Longwood Farm has worms. Or you can talk to a friend who's worm composting. And opposed to regular earthworms, which kind of are great for aerating the soil and digging tunnels, these worms just love eating things and turning them into compost more than, that's more their job.
But do you ever let them out in the wild?
I don't. No. There's holes. They could escape if they wanted to. But as long as, that's how you know when the conditions of the bin aren't good, because they start coming out the holes and escaping. Then you know it's either too dry or too acid or too wet or something. So if they start escaping, you know that they're not happy. But if you keep them happy, they stay in there.
But don't they propagate? Or?
They do. They do. I guess if it seemed like there were too many in there, I would put them in the outdoor compost pile.
But
That would be the best.
Some of them come out with the compost that you put on the garden, would there be some of the worms in there?
It could be, but that's why you use the second bin, which has the holes in the bottom. You open it up, put it here, and migrate them. So you put new moistened shredded paper and compost there, and they go to where the food is. And they would leave behind finished compost down here, which you harvest. So maybe you might have a few stragglers. But the idea is that they migrate, all the worms will migrate themselves to the next bin. This next thing, which is right in front of you, is my garden dehydration appliance, which really, I think works in desert only, but it might have worked in this gallery. It's pretty dry in the gallery. But this is, one of the things I made while I was in Roswell, New Mexico. I was there for a year. And I needed a way of preserving a lot of food without using a lot of energy. Because I just want to see, canning takes a lot of time, and heat, and gas. What was the lowest amount of energy I could expend preserving food would be in a desert, you just leave something on a plate and it shrivels up. The problem is then the bugs get on it, so it was very simple. Just make this bag that kind of zips up. Modular bread trays here, so that you can stack and restack, change things. But the great thing about this is that you don't have to go inside to process your food. You have everything you need here. You can harvest using these baskets. Come here, you rinse them off. You cut, chop, prepare everything on the cutting board. Sweep your scraps into the compost bucket there. And just lay them out on the trays, and when they're done, you can sort them. And so I like sun-dried all kinds of tomatoes, peppers. You can make fruit leathers just by pouring things out on the tray. Something I haven't mentioned yet, but I think I should, is everything in the show I got either for free or, maybe I went to a thrift store and bought something secondhand. But most things are completely free. I found them in the dumpster. or I found them somewhere, took them, and that's actually something which I'm surprised more people don't ask me about, because it's kind of something I'm having an ethical dilemma about. I would love it if anyone wants to talk to me about it. So I'm just going to put it out there. Well, I steal things from behind grocery stores.
That was my next question.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm glad
Where do you
somebody-
steal it from?
I steal bread trays and the flat top bins and milk. You know, college students have a long tradition of stealing milk crates. And I'm not totally sure. I mean, I just have an intense passion for intrinsically colored plastic. And I need to find it secondhand. I can't buy it. I can't go to Home Depot. I could go to Home Depot and buy a very similar bin, but that just wouldn't make me happy the way, you know, finding it, just waiting for me. And that's part of my process, is just kind of hanging out behind grocery stores, convenience stores, hardware stores, and finding the right color plastic bin, tray, crate. In fact, that orange and yellow piece was kind of a byproduct of going across country, you know, bringing this piece back from Roswell. You know, I've made a lot of unnecessary stops just checking, you know, just checking. And it turns out Michigan is the best place to find orange milk crates.
Ohio too is really, really good.
I didn't go through Ohio.
Yeah.
Orange?
I don't know about orange. Yeah, but Ohio's great for like junk.
Okay.
Like,
I'm going to try to include it on the next
yeah.
cross-country trip.
Where'd you get the big stuff?
Okay, I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that.
So is this blue because the first piece you found was blue, or because you had the most blue pieces?
This one?
What made you decide to make this piece blue?
I think what made this blue was that I had the trays that were the most important element of blue.
And then you had to consciously look for all the other things in blue?
Yes. Yeah. And that's just part of the fun of it for me, is to find things. Like, when I started the show, I didn't have the green box lids, and I needed something to catch the water so it wouldn't ruin the gallery floor. So I told my parents, I said, I need green, like, storage bin lids. And they were with me in the car one day. I just, like, all of a sudden pulled over somebody's free pile in front of the house had a green box lid. You know, it wasn't there at the beginning of the show, but by the end of the show, I have 3 of them. It just, they find me, I have like this kind of spiritual kind of connection to the universe where I find the right piece, the right color, the right shape. And that's part of my process.
You solve the moral dilemma. You steal from the beginning.
But sometimes I could justify a lot of ways if you want to hear about it. But I don't think that any of them are really that good justifications. You know, I am not purchasing things, therefore, maybe they don't need that container anymore to bring me my bread, because I bake my own bread. You know, I have sourdough starter. I don't buy Wonder Bread, so you know, I'm not participating in that system. You know, I buy my milk from local producers who are producing raw milk, so maybe I don't need, you know, the milk crate. So I don't know, but that's not sure that works. And so that's a problem. If anyone would like to, you know, criticize me on that, you know, to my face or behind my back, I'd be okay with that.
I just worry about the delivery bin.
I know, and that's the main thing, is that they are using a reusable container.
Well, and do they have to
You know-
replace your new
Probably.
property?
You mean the delivery man himself?
Yeah.
I doubt it.
That's my whole.
I doubt it.
No.
I mean, they do leave these things
If it's
outside
corporate
next to the
plastic-
dumpster.
If it's corporate plastic, I say,
Yeah,
take it out.
but it is a reusable container. They're not using cardboard. Anyway, I just want you guys to know I was on worst critic. So this is the complete dehydrating appliance. Oh yeah, this is one more thing. This is where you put your herbs, like little stalks of herbs to dry with it. I'm not going to go over any of these. This is like a whole year of recipes that I developed in Boston, Mexico. So I was just figuring things out. They're online. They're in the bottom line of the handout. All kinds of projects and things. But this is is my seed saving cabinet. I'm gonna model the inseminator belt because I don't think anyone has seen it yet. Probably nobody knew it was there. But this is, the inspiration for this is basically, I'm obsessed with saving seeds, and that's kind of a crazy complicated procedure that can be very specific to each type of plant. But as I'm learning, consulting a lot of different books, I just kind of needed a station. I'm saving my seeds. I have all these different things I got from thrift stores, or the bottoms of detergent belts, and you need a place to dry them, sort them, different tools to harvest the seeds. I'm still missing a few things and looking for things in my collection. I need like yellow strainers. If anybody has yellow strainers you don't mind parting with, I would love it. And right here's where you do your sorting. I have some dill seed from the installation. It's really fun, like kind of gathering these things. I had some black tomatoes that I harvested and fermented the seeds, and they're right here if anybody needs the seeds. And then, of course, these prescription bottles to store them. So we start with the harvesting, the processing, the storing. Also have my seed packets here. I have the empty film bottles, or the prescription bottles here. And these are a project from over here there. Origami sealing cups. So then we go from the harvesting over to the planting. So you can plant these. Or if you're going to direct seed, that's for seedlings. If you're going to direct seed, that's where you need the inseminator belt. So I can get my station and say I'm going to plant some eggplants today. And this is an actual inseminator that I've come up with. You can just kind of put it in the belt like this. I mean, I don't know, for some seeds maybe this is a little too involved, but basically what you do is you stick this right into the earth. I'm sorry, not everybody can see, but to the desired length, and you have your seeds here. And I don't know if you can see, this is a very apt design where you have your seeds in here. You can just kind of take your finger and just kind of scoop it down into here. It'll go right into the little hole here. So that's one inseminator. This is another inseminator. This is for when you're really lazy, you really don't want to stoop at all.
That was my suggestion with them, make it taller.
Yeah. Well, they work together. Depends. I mean, if you have a little seed, you might get lost like this. So I have some recipe ideas on those handouts. I feel like in elementary school teacher, I gave you guys handouts, but I'm going to be visiting high school soon, so I just want to practice. So, seed balls, you can make seed balls, you can make seed tapes. These are all great things you can do with seeds. The seed tape is, you take a long strip of paper and you glue seeds at specific intervals, and then you can plant them. You can make, you can write into the earth. You can make letters come out. You can make perfect concentric circles around trees. If you're a control freak like that, you can do that. If you're not a control freak, you can do something called a seed bomb. This is not original. This is just the information that I've gathered. Yes?
What do you glue the seeds on?
Oh, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, a cup of water. Cook it until it's thick, and that makes the perfect kind of self-dissolving glue. And if you want to make great paper, if you have a bandsaw or something, you could bandsaw rolls of toilet paper into thirds. You have like long ribbons of really easily dissolving paper. But if you're not, that's like a control freak project, but if you're not a control freak and you want things to go wild, you make something called seed balls, where you just take a lot of seeds, mix it with red clay powder, compost, and make little balls. All different kinds of seeds, nothing invasive. And then take those and just throw them anywhere where you feel like there should be more of the plants that you want to see. That's a great guerrilla gardening tactic, or if we go back to what I was talking about, civic institutions that maybe could liven up the landscaping. That would be a great way of doing it. Really quickly. Abandoned lots, things like that. So that's